Morning students. Good morning students. Here in this session we are going to discuss about various types of inheritance. In previous class we discussed about here what you mean by inheritance, how we are going to perform inheritance, what are the different types of access modifiers. Here now in this session I am going to discuss about what different types of inheritance. Here we are having five types of inheritance are there. First one is the single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Here next go for this single inheritance. In single inheritance we are having only one base class, here one derived class. Here we are having only one base class and one derived class. Here in this case, here which one is the base class? A is the base class, right? A is the base class. This A is the base class, right? This B is the derived class. B is the derived class. Here B is going to inherit all the properties of A. B is going to inherit all the properties of A. Here what are the different types of functions are there? Here what are the different types of, for example here, for example class A is there. In class A, here I am going to declaring two data members A comma B, one member function void add, right? I am declaring one class, that is class A, right? Now here I am going to derive class B from class A. How I am going to derive class B? Class B in public mode, I am going to, in public mode, here I am deriving the class A, right? Here open the braces. Now here I am going to declare two variables C comma D, right? Now this class B consists of how many variables? This class B consists of, see here, what are the variables which are present in class A is going to be present in class B. Now class B is consisting of A, B, D variables. Next one member function, that is void add. We are going to use one member function, that is void add, right? This is single inheritance. In single inheritance we are having only one base class, one derived class. Derived class is going to inherit all the properties of its base class. Derived class is going to inherit all the properties of its base class. Here in this case, here I am using this public access modifier. It means that class B is going to be inherited in public mode, of class A, in public mode of class A. So whatever the variables which are present in class A is going to be present in class B. Whatever the variables which are present in class A is going to present in class B. What are the member functions which is present in public mode is going to be public in class A. Already in last session I discussed about what do you mean by public mode, private mode and protected mode. Already these A comma B are declared in the public mode, right? A comma B are declared in the public mode. So these are going to be present in public mode only. These variables are going to present in public mode, right? In class B also access specifier of these variables is public only, right? This is the single inheritance, right? In single inheritance one base class, one derived class is there. This is the main concept of single inheritance. Now we are going to discuss about this one, right? I am going to implement the single inheritance in terms of program, right? Here I am using their C++. In previous classes I use Turbo C++. Now I am going to use this their C++, right? Here first file new, right? First file new, source file, right? Here hash include IO stream. Here we are not going to use any name .h header file, using namespace std semicolon, using namespace std semicolon. Here in this case, here I am going to defining one class, right? I am going to define one class. Here class A, class A, right? In class A, here I am going to use public access specifier. Here I am going to define int A comma B, int A comma B, right? Now one more function void add, one more function void add, right? Now I am going to define one class, class B. Class B is going to inherit class A, public class A, public class A. Now here this is going to, here in this case I am going to define public, I am going to declare public, in public mode, public int C comma D. Here I am declaring two variables and one function void sub, right? Void sub. Closing the braces, right? Here, see here in class A, I am declaring two data members, that is A comma B, and one member function that is add. Whereas in class B, I am declaring two data members C comma D, one member function that is sub, right? Here now class B is going to be inherit from class A. Now class B is consisting of, what are the variables? Now class B is consisting of A comma B, C comma D. Why? Because class B is going to inherit from class A. Now one member function add and one more member function sub. Now I am going to defining these member functions, right? Here first one is the void add. Void, what is the class name? A, scope resolution operator, right? Scope resolution operator add, right? Now here I am going to write A equals to 5 comma B equals to 6. A equals to 5 comma B equals to 6, right? Now here if I am going to take C equals to A plus B, right? C equals to A plus B, right? Now C out value of C is C, right? And L, closing the braces, right? Closing the braces. Here, is it possible to use this C here? No. But we are going to get error. Why? Because see here, the C is the variable which is present in class B. That's the reason we can't use the C variable in this case. In class A, we can't use the C variable, right? While we are going to execute this program, we are going to get the error, right? Now, we will see. Here one AND function is completed. Now see here sub function is there. Void sub function is there. Sub function, where sub function is present in class B. What is the return type for the sub function? Void. So void, what is class B, scope resolution operator, right? Sub, right? Here I am going to write A equals to 7 comma b equals to 2, right? A equals to 7, b equals to 2, c equals to a minus b, c equals to a minus b, c out, sorry, here I am not going to use c, here I am going to use this d, right? C out value of d is, right, value of d is now d and L, right? Subfunction is complete. Here in this case, in single inheritance, we are declaring one add function which is present in the base class, right? One subfunction which is present in the derived class. Here a comma b variables are the base class variables. Here c comma d data members are the derived class data members. Here now b is derived from class A. That's the reason b is consisting of, indirectly b is consisting of a comma b variables and c comma d variables and add function and sub function. Now here I am going to write the main function. Int main void, right? Int main void. Here I am going to create the object for this obj1. See here we can create the object for a also, a obj2. Here by using the object of b, we can access the data members member functions which are present in class A. By using the object of class B, we can access the data members and member functions which are present in class A. But by using the object of class A, we can't access the data members and member functions of class B, right? See here, I am going to try to access the data members and member functions and write, see, right, obj1 dot sub, obj1 dot sub, right? Now one more thing, see here, by obj2 dot add obj2 dot sub, right? obj2 dot sub. Is it possible to access sub function by using object 2? No. So here first we will run the program. What type of error we are going to get here, we will check, right? First we have to save the program. Save. Here I am going to write some name, single, and single inheritance, in. Save. Now I am going to try to execute this program. Execute, compile, right? See here how many errors we are getting after the class definition. Here we have, see here semicolon is expected after the class definition, right? We have to put the semicolon here, we have to put the semicolon here, right? Save this one. Now execute, compile. See here, error, C was not declared in the scope. See here, already I told now, the C variable is present. Where the C variable is present? In class B. The C variable is present in class B. We are inheriting the class B from class A. We are inheriting class B from class A. It means that we are going to inherit what are the variables which are present in class B. Class A is going to be present in class B. But here I am defining the add function. The scope of the add function is present in class A. So that's the reason we are not going to use this C variable in this A method. Why? Because C is present in derived class. C is present in derived class. That's the reason we can't use. That's the reason we can't use the C in class A definition. Right? Here I am going to declare one more variable, int x. Right? Int x. See here, x equals to a plus b. Value of, here I am going to write value of x is, right? Now save the here. If I'm going to write this one, see here also we have to change x, right? Now we have to save the program, right? Yeah, then go for execution. Now compile the program. What type of error we are going to get? See here, object 2 class A has no member name sub, right? Here, what is this function? Sub function, right? Sub function, where the sub function is declared in class B, right? This sub function is declared in class B. Here class B is the derived class for class A. Class B is the derived class for class A. So here class B is going to inherit the properties of class A, but class A is not going to inherit the property of class B. Why? Because A is the base class for class B. A is the base class for class B. That's the reason we can't access the sub function by using the object of class A. Here I am creating the object now. This A object is, what is the object for this A? I am creating obj2 for class A. By using this obj2, we can access this add function. Why? Because this add function is present here in class A. Add function is present in class A. So I am creating the object for class A. By using the object of class A, I am going to access this add function, right? Here, but here by creating the object of class A, I can't access the member function or variable which are present in the class B, right? See here, I am trying to access this one. That's the reason I can't access. We are getting one error. Class A has no member sub, right? So I am deleting this one. Delete, right? Here, see here, by creating the object of derived class, I can access these two functions, add function and sub function. Why? Because B is the derived class. B is the derived class. Derived class is going to access all the data members and member functions of its superclass, its base class. So add function is present in its base class. So by using the object of class B, we can access. By using the object of class B, we can access the member function which is present in its base class, that is A. In A function, we are having this add function, right? Now, yeah, again, I am going to save this program. Now, I am trying to execute this one. Compiling. See here I am not going to get any errors and warnings, right? Execution is completed. Now, we will check the output. Why we are not getting the output here? Just wait. See out, value of x is value of d, right? And main, right, compile, yeah, id return exist, right? Can't open the source file. See here, we are save as single inheritance.cpp, save, yes, right, for execute, compile, my collect to, already this name is there. See, what type of error here we're getting? I'll check this one. Just read. Now compile the program. No errors. Run the program. We will wait for some time. See here, value of x is 11, value of d is 5, value of x is 11, right? Here process, here already we are calling 2 times x function, and addition functions we are calling 2 times. That's the reason we are getting 11 and 11. See here, in this case here we are calling this by using this obj function, obj object, we are calling this add function. By using this obj2 object we are calling this function. That's the reason we are getting 2 times output. That's the reason we are getting 2 times. Here value of x is 11, value of x is 11, value of d is 5, value, right, with this single inheritance is completed. Now in next class we are going to discuss about what do you mean by